How do you become an inevitable millionaire? Why do I want everyone in my audience to be a millionaire? Because I want you to live an extraordinary life. I want life to be your masterpiece. I want you to have the power of choice. Wealth creates the opportunity to make decisions of courage, not fear. Wealth brings the ability to make a sharp right turn when opportunity presents itself. How do you get on a track where if you keep working on your skill set, you keep working on your mindset, you keep working on your money paradigm, that you have an open-ended enough opportunity to make money that you can get there. I want you to know that you have inside of you everything you need and that the opportunity is yours. The floor is yours. There is no dress rehearsal. This is your life. Life is now. Make every single day count. Now is your moment. Well, hello and welcome everyone. We finally made it. My goodness, it feels like we have been waiting for this day for so long. I want to thank you for taking the time to be with me here today. We have quite a week planned for you. So I am so excited to welcome friends from around the globe on all different platforms. We have friends from Instagram on a separate device. Hi, friends from Instagram. And I know that we have individuals tuning in from all over the world and all different platforms. So say hello in the chat. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. And I want to give you a big, warm welcome to the 1% Wealth Code Workshop. And this workshop is 20 years in the making for me, 20 years in the making. And I am so proud and excited to have finally arrived at this moment where I can share this with you from a deep place of authenticity, life experience, and helping hundreds, if not thousands of other individuals to create life transformation. So we are going to be talking this week about the secrets to unlocking your dream life in every area. We're going to talk about tapping into the wealth that you were created for, the health, the happiness, the love, the joy, the fulfillment, and the bank account that aligns with your destiny and that is not only possible, but probable. And for many of you, by the end of this week, will become inevitable. So I am so happy to be here with all of you. Every day this week, we're going to have a brand new session. Each session is going to build on the next. And so make sure that you have this on your calendar and that you don't miss a single session. We're going to be here every single day at 12 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to have a party. We're going to have some fun over these couple of days. So first of all, I want to say this is a two-way conversation. I am so excited to learn from you, interact with you, share with you, but also make sure I'm listening to you throughout the week so that I can guide this content and really make this an experience that you're never going to forget. So let's start that two-way communication right now. I want to invite all of you to post in the chat. What is one thing that you are excited to get out of this week that we are here to spend together? What is one thing that you're excited to get out of this week that we are here to spend together? Go ahead and post that in the chat now and include your name so that I can give you a shout out and so that we know that you're here. And this party is just going to get better and better as we go throughout the week. So a couple things I want to share before we dive into the content. The first thing is that in teaching business owners and entrepreneurs around the world for the last 10 years how to scale companies online and do just radical, crazy things in a really short period of time, the first thing I want to tell you is that what you write down is 25% more likely to happen. Okay. So if you're really serious about taking this week and creating some true and lasting transformation in your life, the first thing that I want you to do, we created this absolutely beautiful workbook for you, right? It says the 1% Wealth Code. And I want you to pull out this workbook and I want you to take notes like your life depended on it this week, because this workbook is going to be worth more than $1 million to you. This workbook is going to be the thing that serves as the catalyst for your 1% life. And I don't want you to miss a single thing. If there's anyone here that doesn't have the workbook, maybe the email went to your spam, maybe you haven't been able to find a link, we have my amazing team member who has been with me for, I think, over 7 years now, Nicole Catan, who is our community manager, and she is ready and at the waiting to help you. So if you can't find your workbook or if you're struggling to get into a session, I know a lot of you have connected with Nicole already. You can go ahead and connect with Nicole and she'll make sure that she gets you what you need. But in the meantime, you should have this bad boy printed out. And if you haven't gotten a color copy of this printed out, that's going to be part of your homework today, because I really want you all to understand that you are the artist. You are the master of your destiny. And what you're going to learn over the course of this week is going to serve as the catalyst for big decisions that you make for the rest of your life and a huge transformation that you're going to experience. And so it deserves a color copy. You know, there's some things you print in black and white. There's other things that you need to have a little color to. I want you to give a little extra love to this. Here's the deal. Not only do we know that when you write something down, it is 25% more likely to happen, but we also know that those of you that attend all 5 days of this workshop are the people that are most likely to create the biggest transformations and to get the best results out of everything that we're teaching you. And so we are going to reward you. We're going to have some fun. Okay. We are doing an insane giveaway to one person that shows up every single day, that does the homework and engages on the homework threads, that interacts, with the team and is truly present and shares this out each day. Okay. So there's three things. You're here each day. You comment on the homework thread. You actually are doing the work, right, along the workshop, and you share it out. And what we're going to do is one lucky participant is going to get a $750 airline card and a $500 Visa gift card to go anywhere in the world so that you can take a night or 2 nights away or whatever the case and go out there and begin this amazing, beautiful new chapter of your life. And here's the deal. I want every single one of you to fight to get that opportunity, whether you want it, need it, or not, because the more that you lean in and give yourself this gift of being present over these 5 days, the more that your life is going to change and the more quickly you're going to move towards the outcome and the vision that you have for your life and everything that you want to create for yourself. Okay. So big congrats and welcome to everyone. I see you. I'm so proud of you for taking the time to be here. And I'm so excited to spend time together over the next week digging in. As you know, this is the 1% Wealth Code, and I'm going to be walking you through number one, starting with today, how to re-engineer your wealth and your happiness expectations. It's time for a total reset. We're going to begin that work here today, and then we're going to move into tomorrow, and we are going to actually talk about the habits of the 1%. Yes, there is a 1% Wealth Code, and it's one of those things where I remember, growing up, seeing these people that seemed like they just walked on water. Everything seem to like go their way all the time. They seem to kind of, skate their way softly through life and, always stay head up, positivity, success after success. Everything they touch turns to gold. And the thing is there's a code, there's a set of behaviors, there's a set of mindset, there's a set of things that I learned just through experience and trial and error and working on my own personal development the last 20 years that I'm going to share with you. And we're going to go through those habits and we're going to talk about what that looks like and what that can look like for you tomorrow. Okay. So today we're doing the reset. It's like the setup, right? Today is the setup. And then tomorrow we're digging into the habits. Wednesday, we're going to start digging into really turning every dollar that you have into multiple dollars and how to just expand your wealth consciousness and the results that you're getting. And then we have so much more we're going to be covering all week long. So you want to make sure you don't miss a single session. Now, I know that I have some of you here that have been with me for 10 years since I started my business. I know there's some of you that have never missed a launch over the years. I love you and I appreciate you so much, and welcome back. And thank you for being here. And I also know that there's some of you that may not know me at all. And, this is the very first time that we're having the opportunity and on my side of things, the privilege of sharing with you and teaching you. So I want to just quickly introduce myself before we dive into today's content, just so that you have a little context on, well, who am I talking to here and how can I help you? And, so I'll give a little bit of my story. I grew up in a family of 7. There were 5 kids in my family, and my family lived basically just above the poverty line pretty much my entire life. I grew up in a family with a ton of love, a ton of amazing love. My parents are beautiful people that I love and appreciate so much. But I also grew up in a belief system and a mentality around severe lack. And that belief system really, I think, stemmed from this idea that wealth is in conflict with being of service. And that, if you have certain limitations in life, that those limitations prevent you from extraordinary abundance on every single level. It was kind of like, if this, then that, these things are in conflict, there's not enough. And, I was around a lot of unhappiness because of that. And so growing up in this way where I was on the free lunch line and I hear arguments about how are we going to get by to the end of the month constantly, and just so much discussion around lack and despair and fear and frustration. That really was the baseline for my first experience with money and my first perception of what life was like, right? And so for me, I set out on a journey from the moment that I was old enough to reframe and to create something different in my life. I didn't know what was fully and completely possible, but I did get really, really clear on the life that I wasn't willing to live and the struggles that I wasn't willing to have. And I was determined to find a path in life where you could both be of service and create and enjoy extraordinary wealth on every single level. And that was really this 20-year journey that I've been on. And it started off when I graduated from college. I went to a Fortune 500 firm. I was the first one in and the last one out every day for almost a decade. And I was promoted 7 times in 8 years. I ended up going from managing one branch and hiring my first single staff member to building 17 locations and a team of 100 people. And we broke every record in the company's history for growth. But more importantly, for me, I started in an entry level job. I was making $36,000 a year. And over that time, 10x'd that income and went from, this mindset of scarcity and brokenness to extreme abundance at a very young age, and recognizing that mindset coupled with behavior and action really can be the source of creating anything that you want in life. And so I decided I wanted to dedicate the rest of my life to helping others to achieve success, to achieve financial freedom, to build a life that allowed them to do fulfilling work that made a difference in the world. And so for the last 10 years, I have been on a journey of helping entrepreneurs build, grow, and scale their businesses online. And I went from getting one single private client, that I was coaching one-on-one, to running an 8-figure empire and running multiple companies and having a pretty large team. And we've done some amazing things. We were awarded one of the Inc. Awards for being the fastest growing company in the southeastern part of the US, one of the top rated podcasts in the world for marketing. And I could go on and on, but it really doesn't matter. What does matter is that I am a person that experienced and came from a belief system around lack and scarcity, and was able to identify the wealth code that I needed to first instill in my own life, and then instill in the mindset and belief system of others to help them to do the same. And so this journey for me over the last 20 years, the first part being in corporate life, the second part being, in my own business, has shown me that these things, the 1% wealth code, it's available to you whether you're a stay-at-home mom, you're an employee, you're a corporate leader, you're a business owner, you work for a startup, you're an artist. These things, these principles are available to absolutely everyone, and almost no one taps into them because no one really explores them or teaches them. No one really quantifies the things that actually determine the quantity and quality of our lives, right? And so this week, I am dedicated to empowering you and making sure that you walk away from this week that we have together, from these 5 sessions, with a master plan for your life, and that you're empowered with the belief, the skill set, the strategy to be able to go out and design life as your masterpiece without compromising any of the things that are most important to you. I think that we live in a world that is all about instant gratification, and it's all about, the wealth from a tangible standpoint. And the vast majority of people that are pursuing creating wealth are compromising the actual things that are the most important elements of life, which are your strength of your family unit, your health, your ability to enjoy the wealth that you've created, doing fulfilling work that makes a difference in the world and utilizes your unique talent and gifts that you were put here to utilize, and creating something meaningful that you're going to leave behind in your legacy. The vast majority of people on the planet believe that in order to pursue wealth, you have to exchange those other things that matter. And I know for certain that that is not true. And what I'm going to empower you with over this week is a framework and the mindset shifts where you're going to tap into parts of yourself that you probably never have before to open up possibilities that you didn't even believe were on the menu for you. So does that sound good to you guys? I want to see some energy from you. Let's feel some energy in this vibe. I want to hear from you guys. I want to know, how are you feeling? Are you pumped up? Are you ready to dive into the lessons for today's session? Give me some energy. Let me know how you're feeling. I'm so excited to spend this time with you. And I know that this is going to absolutely reframe everything that you previously thought and everything that you previously believed about what was possible for your life. Okay, so share some comments in the chat and make sure that you're getting some healthy competition going for this big giveaway that we're going to be announcing on Friday, because I want to make sure we have some fun as we go through these sessions together. Okay. So here's the deal, just to lay the groundwork, for today. I really want to be clear on this, right? So, everyone collectively across the world, around the globe, went through an extreme amount of trauma, chaos, insanity over the last 2.5 years, right? There's no denying that. I don't think any of us can think of a single person that was not affected in a major way by the just chaos and turbulence of the last few years. And what I want to help you to do this week is a true and lasting reset, because what you have to understand is that the things that you have most recently experienced many times define your energetic vibration, the way that you're interacting with the world, the way you perceive possibilities, and what you attract into your life. That recency effect is going to, in many times, override your intentionality about your life. And so what I want you to take a moment to do right now, and I'm give you a second, and I would love to have some of you comment in the chat and share with me what's coming up for you. But I want you all to, acknowledge and feel the feelings of what you went through over the last couple of years, because I think it's about embracing the emotion and the feelings of everything that you experienced, everything that you went through, everything that you endured, right? You have to first acknowledge and identify those things before you can then move through understanding how to utilize those experiences to create the exact life and the exact life experience that you want to achieve. So comment down in the chat and share a little bit with me. Like, I want to hear from you guys. I want to make sure this is a two-way dialogue. And also feel free to post questions. I'm happy to answer questions live while we're here in these sessions. I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to interact and really get what you need. And I think that there's the full range of human emotions that every person has felt and experienced over the last couple of years. Some people it's exhaustion. Some people it's fear. Some people it's anger. It's so many emotions, right? And the big thing that you have to understand with, each of the lessons that we're going to explore and the things that we're going to work through over this week is that feeling those feelings is the first step. Acknowledging those feelings, understanding, what you went through, how you're feeling, why you're feeling that way, but also beginning to step into a state of readiness to take those experiences and translate them into the stepping stone for your future. And I mentioned earlier that when you think about the 1% wealth code and you think about wealthy people, in many instances, they seem as if they just are gliding through life. They're walking on water. They're always, it's like everything they're touching, it turns to gold, and they never seem like they get thrown off track. And it seems like things always go their way no matter what. How do you become a person that it always seems to go your way? I'm going to help you become that person. You are already a person that can be the person that it all goes your way, but you likely are going to have to make a psychological switch in how you approach problems. So I'm going to give you 5 core things today, and then I'm going to give you something I want you to go back and work on and then post in the group about. Okay, hopefully that sounds good to everybody. The number one thing that you are going to have to do to re-engineer your wealth and happiness, not just expectations, but outcomes, is you have to change the psychology of how you approach problems. I want you to feel all those feelings of everything that you went through over the last couple of years. I want you to acknowledge everything that changed for you, and everything that you went through, and everything that you felt, and all the things that you suffered through, and all the trauma and chaos that came into your life. And it's time to take those things and turn them into stepping stones for building your dream life. Because if we stay there, that doesn't actually serve you in helping you catapult to the person that you're trying to become. The number one first step that you have to take is your psychology of how you approach chaos, turbulence, and problems in your life. The wealth code dictates, and the reason why wealthy people, and when I say wealthy, anytime you hear me say wealthy in this workshop, I want you to understand that I'm referring to health, wealth, financial, tangible, intangible, relationships, fitness, mental health. I'm not just talking about money. When I'm referring to wealth, I'm talking holistically about your life. How you approach problems will dictate the quality of your life. Every single person that is going through the human experience is going to have chaos, trauma, massive setbacks, horrible experiences, things that bring them shame, sadness, fear, anger. Every single one of us are going through and are experiencing things that could elicit those emotions at any moment. And I believe it's healthy to feel those emotions. But I also know that in order for you to build a wealthy and healthy life in every area, you have to work on your ability to capitalize on problems. I want you all to write that down. You have to change your mindset to learn how to capitalize on problems. What I mean by that is, wealthy people have an innate ability to very quickly, the moment that a problem presents itself, the moment that things don't go their way, the moment that things don't go as planned, the moment that a major issue arises, they are so quick to instantly pivot into identifying how that can become an opportunity that it's barely even happened, and they've already moved into the transformation from problem into solution. Wealthy people capitalize on problems. Wealthy people can find the opportunity and can find the lesson and know how to capitalize on something that everyone else perceives as a fatal blow, as a final setback, as something devastating. Proof of this is that in every major economic downturn, there is the greatest wealth transfer of all time. And there's the greatest wealth transfer during an economic downturn, which, by the way, we're about to experience one of these. And it's based on the people that either perceive the situation as devastating and are frozen in their tracks in the feelings of what they feel about what's happening, versus the people that quickly pivot into capitalizing on the situation and turning the issue into opportunity. Write that down, turning the issue into the opportunity. And this is in every area of life. Life is nothing more than a series of constant redirects in which our initial expectations are not met. And when our expectations are not met, many times that brings feelings that aren't good, that aren't positive, that we don't feel good about how a situation went because it's not what we expected. It's not what we planned. It's not the outcome that we initially wanted. Wealthy people take the situation at hand and translate it into something good, right? There are many, many people that will say after these last 2.5 years that they're the closest that they've ever been with their family. There's also many people that are going in different directions, right? So you can take the same set of circumstances and two different people can experience that same set of circumstances, and their response to those circumstances are going to then lead them on two completely different paths. Your goal in life and your way that you're going to make your life this absolute masterpiece is going to come down to your ability when life does not meet your expectations and when the outcomes that you expected are dressed up differently than what you had hoped for. Your ability to flip that psychology and immediately focus on identifying where the opportunity lies is going to be your pathway to becoming unbelievably wealthy in every single area of life, right? You've heard this story a million times. There's so many people that have gone through a major health setback. I literally just got off the phone with a client that had this exact experience. They go through a major health setback, but because that major health setback happened, they began to take their health and wellness really seriously. And because of that, it transforms their life and they're healthier, they're wealthier, they're more exuberant. It's impacted every area of their life because instead of living and staying in the space of what happened, they decided on how to capitalize on this setback and turn it into something that ultimately ended up enriching their life in really meaningful ways. So the number one thing is the psychology of how you approach problems. And there is some exercise and some skill and some practice that goes into this. We'll talk more about that later in the week. But today's session is really about raising your awareness. It's really about helping you to change your perception and understand how important that piece of it is, right? The second big thing, and this is absolutely huge, and I cannot tell you and I cannot emphasize how important this is, replacing recency with intentionality. Go ahead and write that down. Replacing recency with intentionality, okay? Recency is what just happened. Intentionality is what is your focus, what is your intent for what you're creating from this point forward. So recency is about the past, intentionality is about the future. Write it down. Recency is about the past, intentionality is about the future. Here's the cycle of what happens. Something negative happens in our life, in our business, in our career, in our relationship, in whatever it is. Something doesn't go our way. It didn't go the way that we wanted. We're not getting the outcome that we wanted. Okay. Then all of a sudden, now we have these negative emotions that are associated with what just happened. Now, because of recency, we begin to energetically align with the negative emotion of what we just experienced. Now, because we've aligned with the negativity of what we just experienced, we are now attracting and vibrating and actually bringing more of exactly what we just experienced into our lives. There is not a single person here who has not done this. There is not a single person here who has not experienced this. Give me a heck yeah in the chat down below if you know exactly what I'm talking about. I know personally I've caught myself doing this so many times. It's replacing recency with intentionality. And guys, this is something that you have to be so thoughtful and so focused on because this is one of those things that happens so subconsciously that it will literally dictate entire years. You will lose entire years of your life because of recency. If you don't have a trigger where you catch yourself the moment that you are beginning to cycle in recency instead of focusing energetically on intentionality. This is one of the biggest secrets of the 1% Wealth Code. And let me explain why this is one of the biggest secrets of the 1% Wealth Code. Because every single human being, by nature of the fact that we're human, is going to experience extreme chaos, turbulence, setbacks. Horrible things are going to happen because we live on planet Earth and that is part of our human experience. No one gets out of here alive. That is part of the journey. The difference between people that live an unbelievably rich, wealthy, healthy, happy, fulfilled, financially free life versus people that live in frustration, scarcity, anger, upset, everything seems to cycle going wrong, is that one person is living in recency, another person is living in intentionality. Intent is very similar to having definiteness of purpose. One of my favorite phrases of all time from Napoleon Hill, my favorite book, Think and Grow Rich, definiteness of purpose. Oprah says, intention rules the earth. It is so, so true. And I'll take it a step further. For you personally, intention is what runs your life. Intention is what runs your life. But if your intent is more connected to the past than it is to the future, then you're going to continue to recreate what you've experienced over the last 2.5 years versus being the artist, the master mother nurturer, I like to call it, of what you want to create for the future. And so today, I want to challenge you to identify areas of your life where you are still operating in recency versus intentionality. And I'm going to give you an exercise to do at the end of today's session, and then we can come back to the group and talk about it. The third big thing is your self-identity. It is no coincidence that this is called The Inevitable Millionaire, that the program is called The Inevitable Millionaire, and that the initials are I am. Because the phrase I am is one of the most powerful phrases in the world for dictating what your future is going to look like. When you say the words I am, whatever comes after that is what you are going to create in your life. Whatever is running in your brain on repeat over and over and over again. However you self-identify, however you most resonate, whatever energy you are most connected to, that is what you're going to create in your life. That is what the outcome of your life is going to be. For you, the secret of the 1% wealth code that I want to empower you with today is that you can choose. You can intentionally choose what comes after I am. You need to take action today to sit with yourself and to take a moment after today's session and say, what have I been saying after I am? Has it been this? I am exhausted. I am overwhelmed. I am frustrated. I am angry. Or is it I am the mother nurturer, the master creator, the innovator? I am a millionaire. I am the creator of my own life destiny. Whatever you resonate with and whatever runs on repeat in your mind that you set as the forward-facing, future-focused intent of your life is what your life is going to become. There is so much science. There are so many studies that have been done. There is so much evidence to back up the fact that our thoughts are going to dictate our ultimate outcomes. And for most of us, we live in a place where whatever the worst thing that happened recently was, we attract more of that. And so I will tell you that this is one of the most important things, and you will understand tomorrow we're going through the habits. So tomorrow I'm actually going to walk you through what do wealthy people do with their time very, very differently from the rest of the world. What do the 99% do? What do the 1% do? We're going to talk about that tomorrow, and I'm going to give you in very tangible black and white what that looks like. And you can kind of look at and measure yourself against those and say, which of these things am I aligning with? Which of these things am I not? And what are the outcomes that I'm getting because of that? Okay. So I want you to write down the phrase I am. There's never a coincidence. There's no coincidence here. Inevitable millionaire. I am. And I want you to write down right now, and maybe some of you guys would be willing to share in the chat. I want you to write down, and some of you share in the chat. Some people are saying, I am powerful. I am bold. I am abundant. These are amazing. I would love to see some shares from some others. What comes after I am? I am amazing. I am the master creator of my life. I am the source. I am more than enough. I am abundance. I am the master mother nurturer of my life. I am alive. I am the master of my future. I am ready. I am unstoppable. Yes. Yes, you brought it in. Thank you, Kemi. I am blessed. I am love. These are the phrases. I am rested yet productive. How unbelievably power. I am a child of God. I am reminded of my power. I am a magnet of wealth and influence. I am empowered. I am made in God's image. I am the director of my life. I am expansive, creative, ready, good enough, consistent, conduit of creation, fuel. I am a business owner. I am significant. I am rich and rested. I am a high performing athlete and the CEO of my life. I am a happy and fulfilled millionaire. Now, these are some of the most powerful phrases I think I have ever seen or heard in writing, and it's so inspiring to me. And I hope that each of you guys have the same butterflies in your stomach that I have in mine right now, because the moment that you begin to say, I am, and claim that, and the moment that you make the definitive decision to stop allowing recency to drive your emotions, but instead intent. When intent is driving your emotions, you are connecting with that I am phrase that you just created, and you are beginning to get your neural pathways working to help you create more of that in your life, looking for opportunities to create those connections, searching for ways to bring forth evidence in tangible form of exactly what it is that you're saying that you want more of. The problem is that if you don't know the wealth code and you're not using the wealth code every day in your life, you are, instead of attracting what you want, you're attracting more of what you don't want, because recency, right? Why is recency so powerful? Because stuff doesn't go our way every single day. There's going to be something that happens every single day that doesn't go the way that you had perceived, or the way that you set the goal, or the way that you had initially intended, every single day. So you better have a practice that you live by that resets and redirects your energy in a new and different way. Because if you do not have something happening every single day in your practice, and this is why tomorrow we're talking about habits, if you don't have a practice that resets your focus around intentionality of what you are the mother nurturer of, the I am, then that means the only other alternative is the recency effect of what you just experienced. So does everyone see how much you can influence in an instant what you're bringing into your life, and what you're attracting, and who you're being, and how you're responding? Wealthy people approach problems differently. They capitalize on problems and turn them into opportunities almost instantly. I just had something like this happen to me last week. I got news of something that was very, very devastating to me last week. Something very bad happened. Okay. In that moment, I was devastated. I was so heartbroken. I was hurt. I felt betrayed. I was very upset. Okay. But in that moment, I allowed myself to feel those feelings, and I felt those feelings, and I felt them hard. Okay. I had the tears. I had the frustration. I was talking to Billy about it, all those things. And then I said, I'm going to take 24 hours and I'm going to ask myself, in a perfect world, what do I really want out of this situation? Like, put all of this aside. And what do I really want in this moment? Like, what would be the ideal outcome? And I let go of the recency of the disappointment that I had just experienced. And I switched gears into rule number one, which rule number one is the psychology of how you approach problems. And what I quickly realized was that thing that had just hurt me so much, that I was so disappointed and so frustrated and so upset about, was actually this massive opportunity that I had been overlooking. But the problem that had happened was it was dressed up differently than my expectations. So when it first happened, I wasn't initially able to understand that it was a good thing, because it didn't match my expectations for how I wanted things to go. You ever have that happen to you before? Give me a comment in the chat below. I think we're all guilty of this. When things don't match our expectations for how we anticipate that they're going to go, we instantly feel frustrated, upset, disappointed. But then if we take a step back and we follow the wealth code rules that I just walked you through, I actually realized that this situation is going to produce an outcome for me that I never even was imagining was possible. It actually is something that can be really good for me on multiple levels in a lot of different ways. And I've seen evidence of that from multiple things that have happened since. So what are the wealth code rules? Number one, psychology of how you approach problems. I took something that disappointed me, that was a setback, and I looked for the opportunity to capitalize. Number two, I replaced recency with intentionality. My first reaction was very negative. It was very, very negative. I felt hurt. I was thinking of all the downsides, of all the issues, of all the things that could go badly. I immediately flipped that into intent. And I spent 48 hours really reflecting on intent. What am I trying to do? Where am I trying to go? What is the point of all of this? What is the outcome that I want? And then I went back to my self-identity. I am the mother nurturer of my life. I am the creator of my life. I have choices. I can exercise the power of choice in this situation, and I can create a positive outcome out of a negative initiation, right? And so I want you all to realize that most of the time, the things that are dressed up as negatives in your life are simply a situation not meeting your expectations for how you wanted it to go. It doesn't mean that it's actually a negative situation. It means it was dressed up differently than your expectation. Rich, wealthy people that live beautiful, healthy, wealthy 1% lives understand how to flip these things in an instant. They can work through these 5 steps that I'm giving you in 5 minutes flat. That's why it seems like they're walking on water. That's why it seems like they're always, everything they touch turns to gold. Well, why is that? Because this is a human being that understands on how to flip their expectations, capitalize on a situation, turn a setback into a stepping stone, and keep moving forward. This is the wealth code, okay? And this is one fraction of 1% of what I'm going to teach you guys this week. But I am telling you, you could take any situation and apply this to it, and in an instant, you're going to figure out that there's a path forward that's probably 1,000 times better than what you could have ever imagined on your own. It's just most people get so stuck in the negative emotion of things not meeting their expectation that they miss out on the opportunity completely. That's why there's a 99% and a 1%, right? Most people miss out on the opportunity completely. Only the 1% are able to actually control their emotions in a way that allows them to understand how to capitalize on these situations versus to struggle and suffer because of them. And the final thing, so there's 2 more things actually that I really want to make sure we cover today. Number 4 is that strategy and action and mindset and beliefs are 2 sides of the same coin. And this is probably one of the biggest takeaways of my 10 years of helping people to achieve million and multi-million dollar breakthroughs in their business. I have watched hundreds and hundreds of business owners come through my training programs, come through as students of mine. And when I look at those who achieved massive exponential success in a very short period of time, the people that achieved 6, 7, 8 figures versus the people that said, this didn't work for me, I can't get results, I tried everything, is that they both went through the same coaching. They both got the same information, education, support, accountability. But the difference between those 2 people is that one has the mindset and beliefs of becoming an inevitable millionaire, and the other has the strategy and action, but not the mindset and beliefs to back it up. And I saw this in my corporate life all the time, right? I would bring in 2 new hires into one of my branches. I would put them both through the same training. I would put them both in the same team environment. They would both go through all the same, steps to be set up for success and to achieve results in the job. And when I look at, they both were given the same strategy, they were both given the same action plan, they're both implementing under the same leadership and direction, yet radically different results. The radically different results stem from mindset and beliefs, right? So you can totally transform your life in a year or less. You can absolutely take any area of your life, or maybe it's your entire life, and you can transform it in a year or less. I've seen it done over and over and over again in the programs that I've been working with entrepreneurs on for years. But you have to first surrender. you have to first surrender. And so before we wrap here today, you have to make a commitment to yourself that you are willing to surrender. And when I say surrender, what do I mean by that? You have to be willing to give up and to let go of your old stories, your old excuses, your old patterns of behavior, your old behaviors that you know no longer serve you, but that you continue to carry forward because they're like armor protecting you because of your past hurts. The things that you do that don't help you in life, but that you have carried with you for so long, like an armor protecting you from the hurt that you experienced in the past, you have to surrender. And so, if you want to become an inevitable millionaire, if you want to let this 1% wealth code work for you, you absolutely have to step into a willingness to surrender your old beliefs, your old habits, the old mindset, all of these things that no longer serve you. And it means taking total accountability for your life and everything in it. If you're not willing to do that, the wealth code won't work for you, because the wealth code is for people that are willing to do the work to make their life an inevitable millionaire representation in every single area. So if you're not willing to surrender, you're not willing to give up those stories and excuses, you're not willing to let go of old wounds, then there's no point in saying that you want to, join the 1%, because you're not going to. And I'm always the person that is very radically transparent in my coaching. And I want to be radically transparent with you all here. I want to help you transform. I want to help you achieve the success that you deserve. I want you to have such abundance in every area of life that you don't even recognize your own life a year from now. And that's entirely possible. But it starts with one word. What's the one word? Put it in the chat for me down below if you know the one word. And let me know if you are willing. What's that one word? You have to be willing to surrender. Ginny, thank you. You have to be willing to surrender. And surrender is personal growth, because surrender is that moment in which you are no longer hanging on to anything that doesn't serve your future self. And a lot of times it's harder for people to let go of the old than it is to embrace the new. So this is the beginning of our deep work together. And this is how we're going to come together over the course of the next 5 days and help you begin to initiate radical change in your life. Okay. I see that you all are ready, and that makes my heart so full and so happy, because we had to come to this point before we can actually go forward. And before I can help you begin to make these quantum leaps in your life and in your happiness and in the results that you're experiencing, we have to make that commitment to ourselves, because the only person that can do this for you is you. You're the only person that can do this for you. But you deserve this. You deserve a fresh start. You deserve a complete reset after everything that you've been through and all that you've experienced and everything that you've sacrificed. Your reset is here. I'm inviting you to shed the past. I'm inviting you to let go of all of those things that were your former self, that are not a part of your future you. I'm inviting you to go on this journey with me over the next week, and it all begins here. So I'm so happy to see all of your comments in the chat, and I see you, and my heart is with you, and I appreciate you so much for being willing and open. And I want to talk about the fifth thing. And this is where I'm going to invite you to actually take action and to post back in the group. Now, as you all know, we're doing an amazing giveaway, because we want you to take notes, take action, show up all week, and join the party, really. And when you participate all week, you're going to get entered to win, as a part of this amazing giveaway, the airline gift card. You're going to get the Visa gift card and the ability to, get away. You're going to get this getaway. Okay. And the way that you enter to win for the getaway is by being here live with us each day this week. So great. You're here. That's the first step. If you're watching from around the globe on the replay, you can do #replay if you are watching during a reasonable time for your hour, but it's the middle of the night when we're going live. The second thing is you got to participate in the homework thread. And the homework thread is clarity. So I said that there were 5 steps to really dive into re-engineering your wealth and happiness, and that we need to completely reset our expectations in terms of what the last couple of years have, made what seemed possible the last 2 years, right? The fifth core thing is clarity on what you want. It's clarity on what you want. And obviously, with clarity has to come a willingness to tune in and to do those things. What I want to invite you to do back in the Facebook group right now, and this is in the Tribe of Unstoppables, you're going to see a homework thread. I want you to write down the top 3 things that you want more than anything in your life right now. I want you to write down the top 3 things that you want in your life more than anything right now. And be honest and be radically truthful, because we're going to talk over the course of this week how we're going to help you get those things, how we're going to help you make that happen. But you have to have clarity. If you don't have clarity and you don't even know what the aim of the target is, how are you going to hit the target? In order for us to help you hit the target, we got to get clear on what the target is, right? So the party is continuing back in the Tribe of Unstoppables. If you're not in that group and you want to join, just comment in the chat now and let us know that you want to join. And Nicole on our team will help you get yourself over there. I do want to just do a quick recap and then let you know what you're going to learn tomorrow. So number 1, the psychology of how you approach problems. The wealthy capitalize on problems and turn them into opportunities. Number 2, replacing recency with intentionality. Number 3, self-identifying as the creator and the mother nurturer, owning everything in your life. I am. It's resonating with that phrase, I am, and then completing that sentence with the thing that represents the future you that you are going to step into becoming. Number 4, it's understanding that strategy and action are this one side of the same coin of mindset and beliefs, and that they must come together in order to achieve the outcome that you want. So strategy and action is over here. Mindset and beliefs are over here. 2 sides of the same coin. We need both, right? Number 5 is clarity on what you want. So your action step following today's session is I want you to take a moment and write down in your workbook, what are the top 3 things that you want in your life more than anything right now? And I want you to post those in the group. And as you come back tomorrow, where tomorrow I'm going to be teaching you the habits that are the distinction between what does the 99% do, what does the 1% do? I'm going to walk you through the difference on tomorrow's session. Tomorrow, we're going to get really tactical and specific about how you use your time and how that needs to change in order to radically transform your life. Okay. So I hope you got value out of today's session. I had so much fun being here with you all. I'm so excited for what's to come this week. Make sure you don't miss a single session and join the party back in the tribe. Make sure you enter to win, share this out, snap a pic, right? And let's get this going, because you guys deserve health, wealth, happiness, abundance, and everything in between. And we're here to help you make it happen. Everybody have a great afternoon.